Are you dreading going to work ever? Do you feel like you're lacking some inspiration? Are you feeling completely overwhelmed? Maybe you're experiencing some burnout from time to time. Are you sick of dealing with really pushy clients? Maybe you feel like somebody or a certain place is holding you back from reaching your full potential. There could be some other things going on that maybe you feel like you're doing the same hair over and over. You are not in this alone, but that's why today, in this business breakthrough class, we are going to tackle just what it feels like to be plateauing, just cruising along the surface and not really feeling like we're growing anymore. It is a bad thing if you stay there, if you get stuck there. Because the thing is, you could, on the outside, look like you're doing really, really well. But if you're feeling like you need a change, chances are some of your clients might be contemplating the same thing. Even the ones that have been with you for a really, really long time might start feeling like, I think that I can see where this is headed. You'll be there for a while, but sooner or later, you'll slowly start to see a decline. So without further ado, let's get into some of like the mentality behind where we're at and some of the mentality that needs to change a little bit. So let's talk about brainstorming, about the approach we need to take, and how we're going to roll our sleeves up and put ourselves in that right mental space. And a lot of times, yes, we are in the service industry, and I think in generally speaking, and actually, I think sometimes the way other people treat us, including clients and employers and things like that, it really does feel like we're here to meet the entire world's needs, like everybody else's needs. And so it's really important that you understand that, like, in business in general, this is something that provides for your family. This is something that we work at, something that is a part of our passion. To realize that, wait a minute, like if I'm feeling all of these things, I need to take ownership of that. I need to take ownership of the fact that I'm overwhelmed, that I'm feeling burnt out, and what are the changes I need to make? Maybe, you have new goals, aspirations, even new friends. Maybe you're in a new location than you were in the beginning. When you wake up in the morning to when you go to bed at night, what are the boundaries that you haven't set, that you need to set in order to sustain yourself? We're always going to be growing and plateauing, especially if you're changing like aspects of your career and going into different avenues of hair, right? So number one is really thinking through what you want your personal life to look like. You want everybody and their mom to send their friends to you and family, and you're growing. But when you're just like going through the motions, it's a different ballpark. Now we have to learn this practice, because if we don't, we're going to be a continual doormat for the rest of our lives, and we don't want that. This is what I want for myself, my family, my children, or my friends, or even like my recreational life. Now I can have some control over what this looks like now, and I can mold my business into something that is working for me. I think that it's a great way to find inspiration is through mentors, people who've been there before, nobody really has it all together, right? But we're going to talk about this more, but and really go through the list of what you want your business to look like that could change or that needs to change, right? Now it's time to take action, and it's definitely important now that you do it in a right way. So sometimes there's reasons to take these extreme actions if you have that kind of flexibility. But I would venture to guess that most often, and what I have seen in salons and with stylists that I've worked with over the years, is that usually when you take kind of like a goal that you have for yourself, so let's just say Saturdays off, starting with one Saturday off a month and seeing how your clients respond and adapting to like, how can I manipulate this to where they're getting ready almost for me to just take all Saturdays off, or, you know, and how can I prepare them mentally and emotionally and all of the things. And this is something that I feel like it's just basically like a new business plan and a way to kind of redirect your business, because no matter what it is, Saturdays, money, whatever, you have to train your clients. So imagine like you're training an assistant that you're raising up, or just training anything or anyone in general. Typically, it's like by affirming good actions and saying, no, this isn't right. But yeah, the idea of almost training your clients how to treat you, training your clients how to book their appointments and what to expect. And they need guidance, they need to be told, because you know, some people, not all people, some people are just those rare, beautiful gems of clients that come in, you know, bringing you donuts in the morning and pay you whatever price you want and say, do whatever to my hair. So that's why it's really, really important that you kind of sit down. And I physically do this. Like when I raise prices or I make a change or I do something, I have physically like pulled up a chair and sat with them and said, hey, I just started doing some Instagram stuff. So to see any of that, you would have to go all the way back to the beginning of my feed. But that was when I made that change. And I told every client, I sat them down and said, this is something that I'm going for. I might have to randomly call you, because the way that celebrity and editorial book is, if I get an opportunity to take a magazine cover or something, I got to take it. And usually they'll contact me the day before. It was an opportunity for me to kind of grow either an assistant that I had or somebody sitting next to me in the salon. They almost just came to know that, okay, Bree's having a talk with me, like she's making a change or she's going through something, you know, new in her. And it wasn't like I'm always spilling my guts to my clients. I kept things like light and fun, and I would get close to my clients, but still, you know, professional. And then every once in a while I would get serious, which is pulling up a chair and making eye contact and being like, I'm being intentional about this. Like, or $20 or like a certain percentage, because, you know, you don't have to explain yourself. And to have that kind of step into your like leadership role, step into the person that you know, that the reason why you wanted to be in this career, now it's time to exploit all of those reasons. Now you can have that flexibility if you bring people along the journey and you do it in a smart way and in a strategic way. It's like just traveling, and maybe you don't have to travel that far, but setting aside time to just be intentional about like, what was my first love? So now you're implementing strategically, little by little, the price increase. And if you want to see kind of how I do that, I talk about that extensively in Charging Hourly. But once you start implementing all of these changes, also for your personal life, you look at that list. What are the days off? All of the things. Looks the way I want, all of that. But I will warn you that if you stay there, you are eventually going to change, right? The world around us with inflation and all of the things number-wise is always changing. Styles are always changing. And that is truly one of the most beautiful things about our industry, is that it's always changing. But if you don't constantly go back to the beginning of this video and start like asking yourself those same questions, because, you know, sometimes it could be the salon you're in, but you just ask yourself those questions, and then you take a risk, you make the change, you have the confidence, you make that eye contact, you know who you are, and you continue to grow, and you let go of the things that don't necessarily need to be there anymore, and that is okay. So regardless of if they are, you know, semi-small goals in the beginning where you're like, okay, I need to change prices, change hours, maybe take on an assist. If you are overworked and you feel stagnant, just by taking on an assistant and starting to learn how to train somebody will instantly change the game for you. Instantly change the game for you. Because now you have somebody looking over your shoulder, looking at every single thing you do, asking you why, what did you mix? Like really, I'm telling you, to put yourself in the teacher position is such a beautiful space because that's where I learn the most. Both can be really scary, but understand that if you're overwhelmed and overbooked, truly, I feel like you shouldn't be booked out more than like 3 months, to be honest with you.